Live from KSAT 12, the news at noon starts right now.
And good afternoon. This afternoon, we are focusing on our weather.
And we've got heavy pockets of rain expected throughout the afternoon and evening. Let's take a look outside right now. Live cam showing lots of clouds, a sprinkle or two here or there, but we're waiting on the big stuff, right?
Yeah, the rain's on our doorstep. It will be in here, but I think for the most part, and this is kind of the change to the forecast, it's going to be a little lighter here in San Antonio. The heavier stuff is going to be to the south. Still, we are going to get some rain around San Antonio, and I think, it will fill up the rain gauge somewhat, just as not as much as we were hoping for. Let's get right to the radar, and you see where the rain is right now. We've got a nice shield of rain that's starting to work its way into San Antonio. It's starting to enter Bexar County, and where you see some of those yellow colors, that's where you're going to see some heavier to more moderate rain. And that is embedded within these showers that are moving through. This is good tropical moisture, as we've been talking about. So it is going to come down heavy at times. You get further south and east, and that's where you run into the really heavy stuff down around Victoria and Goliad. The rain is coming down good now. You're going to pick up a quick inch of rain out of this, I think, if you're watching us from Goliad. Karnes City, Falls City, Poth, along 181. Rain is now starting to fall, and as I said, that light rain is now moving into Bexar County and will sweep through the city here over the next, I'd say, hour or so. You'll start to see the rain pick up here in town. We'll get wet roads, and it could affect the evening commute, so keep that in mind. I do want to go down to the coast because this is where the really heavy rain is, and this is where we're likely going to get some flooding. And this just came out, a tornado warning for the coast right near Rockport. A little bit of rotation with this storm here as it moves inland. We're going to keep an eye on that. The rotation didn't look terribly tight, but it is there. And so that tornado warning again for the areas right around Rockport. These are all things we're going to watch today as this tropical moisture feeds into our area. And we'll continue to see these showers and storms, as I said, as we get into the afternoon and this evening with some more scattered activity tomorrow. We're going to talk much more about this forecast and the rest of the week, too, coming up here in just a couple minutes.
All right, Justin, let's get outside and look at TransGuide. With that stuff coming in from the east, some of the eastern roads are going to start getting wet. Been a while since we had some heavy rain, so as you travel, there's 151 at West Military, but as you travel, remember you want to slow down because some of these roads could start getting slick with some of that oil and debris on them. So make sure you pay attention when this rain starts coming our way.
And when it comes to heavy rain, San Antonio is flood prone. There are some areas around town that see more flooding than others. There's Salado Creek at I-35. That one usually goes underwater. Bassey at 281, same thing. Penn Road and Highway 151, that is pretty much every time. And the lower levels of I-35 here in downtown. Those are just some of the areas that we count on flooding, but there are many more. Be aware whenever you're driving in heavy rains to turn around and don't drown.
And you can remain weather aware by checking this map from bearflood.org. Right now, no water closings to talk about because the rain is just on the doorstep, not quite here yet. But as we just talked about, when a road is closed, the dots will turn from green to red. And you can see the intersection where that happens. It's best to always check the weather and roads before you head out in the storms coming up. Change of pace, new at noon. Several cars severely damaged by fires at a Northwest Side auto repair shop. The fire was called in around 6 this morning near Speedway Drive near Jackson Keller Road. Arson investigators say it looks like someone broke out the windows of several cars and then set fire to the others. At least 7 cars were damaged.
And we're also working on a developing story, a shooting between 2 vehicles overnight. It ended with 2 people dead, and we've just learned that actually a 3rd person has died from their injuries here. San Antonio police say the call came in around 11 o'clock last night at the intersection of West Martin and Northwest 24th Street on the west side. Police say a driver in a vehicle was driving on West Martin. Someone in another vehicle started shooting. Well, the first vehicle then veered into some stairs or steps, and that was where a homeless man and woman were sitting on those steps. Both were hit by the vehicle. The man was crushed by the car and pronounced dead at the scene. The woman treated, then released. Meanwhile, a female passenger in the car was also killed. The male driver of the car taken to the hospital in critical condition, but we just learned he died this morning. So far, police are not sure, though, what led up to all of this mayhem.
I don't recognize any of the Boeing you described.
Really?
And I want to assure...
You don't recognize the Boeing that has airplanes falling out of the sky?
Boeing CEO Dave Calhoun being hammered by lawmakers in his first appearance before Congress since that door plug flew off a Boeing 737 MAX 9 in mid-flight. The questioning coming as whistleblower Sam Mohawk alleges Boeing hid substandard parts from the FAA, lost track of them, and likely installed them on planes. Boeing says it's reviewing Mohawk's claims. It also says it has compiled a deferred prosecution agreement stemming from crashes in 2018 and 19. In it, Boeing effectively promises to do better. The chair of the Senate Investigation Subcommittee argues it has violated that agreement. Calhoun says the company is working to change.
The National Park Service waiving entry fees at all national parks today in honor of Juneteenth. June 19th. It's a national holiday celebrating the end of slavery, or rather, news of the end of slavery in the U.S. On this date, back in 1865, the last enslaved peoples in Texas were finally told they were free. It happened in Galveston. The Emancipation Proclamation was supposed to have taken effect more than 2 years earlier. Juneteenth officially becoming a federal holiday back in 2021.
Here at home, celebrations started a little early at the Tobin Center last night, including a performance called Freedom, a Juneteenth celebration. The San Antonio Gospel Heritage Choir helped present two pieces by composer Joel Thompson and finished with a classic by Richard Smallwood.
Meanwhile, there's going to be some city closures today just for this holiday. Most city offices are now closed. Metro Health clinics and offices, animal care center, adoption centers, all library locations are also closed. Public safety and emergency services, though, remain open. You can see a list of all the closures in the city right now on KSAT.com. Just look for this article.
Still ahead, the youth orchestras of San Antonio are taking their talents worldwide. We're going to tell you where they get to perform coming up.
The Bexar County Jail is at an overflow of inmates. Up next, what the Bexar County Sheriff's Office told Commissioners Court they're trying to do to tackle this issue.
It is no secret the Bexar County Jail fills up faster during the summer, which is why they are experiencing an inmate overflow.
The Bexar County Sheriff's Office appearing in Commissioners Court yesterday explaining what they're trying to do to fix the problem. They've already shipped 150 inmates to neighboring counties. And in order to keep on doing that, they've asked the court for $4 million. BCSO explaining the jail was dangerously close to going past the 5,075 inmate capacity. The state recommends jails top out at 90% capacity, yet it recently got all the way up to 99%.
There was a request for $4 million. It was denied. For now, BCSO says they're just going to have to transfer 298 inmates to other prisons. 150 already been sent. 30 went to Kerr County and 120 went to Burnett County.
I'd like to just make it a month-to-month type process until we get a clearer picture of what your jail population.
Commissioners Court now requesting more notice in the future from the Bexar County Sheriff's Office when their jail starts to fill up. As far as funding BCSO's proposal, it was suggested that it would be on a 90-day basis and it will be revisited in 2 weeks.
Outside with Live Cam. You know, over the years, I've learned to be more patient, but this is wearing my patience thin. Come on now, let's get this thing over here. We've been talking about it for a week and a half.
You sound like a lot of the emails.
He sounds grumpy.
Yes, you're right. We are ready for it too, and we're going to start to see some of those showers. They're moving in. They're moving into eastern Bexar County as we speak, and it will be fairly rainy for the rest of the afternoon. The aquifer is up 0.2 of a foot. So that's good. 630.3 is where we stand today, and in your pollen count, molds are low, as is grass. It's at 10. We're going to show you that radar, show you where the rain is headed, and how long it'll hang around. Coming up.
This week, 60 of our San Antonio area young musicians are gracing German audiences with their music.
It's the first time since 2018 that the youth orchestras of San Antonio is traveling out of the U.S. on a tour. Patty Santos tells us more. It's for the players. It's more than just the travel and the prestige. It's about building character, too.
Some were naturally born musicians.
I play violin, and I've been playing since I was 6.
Others discovered it later in life.
I've been playing the cello for 6 years.
But one thing they have in common, they work hard to find the perfect pitch and harmony.
I joined YOSA when I realized I had a really big interest in music and playing in orchestra. And so I wanted to expand my artistic ability.
Tyler Brown and Evelyn Lee are both touring Germany this week as part of the team of 60 youth orchestras of San Antonio members. In the past, YOSA has taken them to play for audiences like New York City and Austin, but their favorite audience is always at home.
I've probably loved playing at the Tobin Center the most. Yeah.
When young people play music together in a group, they learn about what happens when you work hard with other people.
YOSA music director Troy Peters says most of these kids don't want to or won't be going to a professional orchestra. But at YOSA, they build lifelong character.
They get better at asserting themselves and moving through life with determination and strength.
500 youth in San Antonio from 11 different schools earn a spot in the YOSA orchestra. But each summer, there are 3 weeks of summer camps available to those who want to give it a shot. Students say, while it's not easy, it's not impossible.
Just go 100% and try your best, and everyone here will support you.
What an
Beautiful.
honor to perform in Europe, huh? In Germany? Wow.
Beautiful.
That's
Yeah.
awesome stuff.
All right, we're hoping to hear the sound of raindrops, and that will be beautiful as well.
Will be. So close. So close. So we've got some light showers starting to move into eastern parts of Barry County. We're starting to see some heavier pockets develop across our eastern counties as well. So the rain's starting to pick up some. You can see where it is at this hour. And it is literally on our doorstep here in downtown. It'll be here, I would say, half an hour. Some of that light rain will start to move in. It starts out pretty light and then picks up some as we're seeing this kind of wave of rain move west to east across the area. Obviously, east to west. Let me get my directions correct. And then obviously you see some of the heavier rain down there along the coast, Beeville to Goliad, over to Victoria, Edna, and then back up towards just west of Houston. And this is what we're forecasting to sort of swing through during the afternoon hours. So let's take a little closer look here at what's going on in Bexar County. And the rain is just starting to move into the far eastern sections right along 1604. This is going to be kind of that sprinkly light rain, but it does pick up. And I suspect that within the hour, we'll start to see more of this moving in around San Antonio across the entire city. There along I-10, Seguin over to Luling, you've got rain there, so that's going to be a wet ride if you're headed east towards Houston. Smiley, you've got a little pocket of heavier rain that's just working through. And the further south you go, the heavier the rain gets. This is good tropical rainfall here, stretching from Goliad back over towards Victoria. And this is working its way up towards Kennedy and Garden City. So this is kind of a corridor where I expect to see some 2 to 4 inch rainfall totals. I don't know that we'll see that in San Antonio, but I think we could see up to an inch potentially. And the further south you go, as I said, this stuff really starts to pick up. In fact, let's head down to the Corpus Christi area where they now have a flash flood warning in effect. So Corpus Christi is getting a lot of heavy rain. And I mentioned we had that tornado warning earlier for the Rockport area. The radar picking up on a little bit of rotation, and it'd be right in this area that's starting to move onshore. We'll keep an eye on that. I didn't see a whole lot of rotation earlier, but it's right along the coast there where you could see some of these spin-ups because of the setup that we have with this tropical storm. And yes, it is now officially a tropical storm, and I'll talk about that in just a second. Futurecast shows the rain moving across 3 o'clock, 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock. That means the evening commute is going to be a wet one. And we'll continue to see showers and a few downpours feeding in, I think, into the evening hours. And then officially, as we get into overnight into tomorrow morning, we'll start to see this shift west and then we'll get a little bit of a break before more showers and storms develop tomorrow afternoon. Today's 70% chance of rain. We'll keep that going right on into, say, the 10 o'clock hour before we start to see rain chances tapering off. And tomorrow it'll be more of a 40% chance of rain with just some scattered activity. 81 right now, 80 in New Braunfels, 75 Bernie, 77 in Kerrville. I don't think temperatures will get much warmer than this because with the rain moving in, that'll keep temperatures basically in check, hold them in check. We also need to mention there will be some gusty winds today. Nothing that's off the charts, but breezy with some of the rain. We could see gusts 20 to 25 throughout the afternoon. Just keep that in mind. And there is that tropical storm, Alberto, looking better now. Finally did get a name because it's starting to look a little more organized. You see some of the deep convection that's organizing around the center. And this thing has developed a little bit further south. Part of the reason why we're missing out on the really good rain here. But this will continue to move west into Mexico, bringing heavy rain there. Winds probably around 45 miles per hour. So this is a low-end tropical storm. 87 tomorrow, 40% chance of rain. 91 Friday, just a 20% chance. Warmer over the weekend, and then we get some more rain chances to start next week.
You sure this is summertime?
It's weird, right? Starting summer with the rain. This is great.
And I like the cooler temperatures too. Thank you.
Yep.
Coming up, could San Antonio actually be without a minor league baseball team? We'll have that for you next. Hey, can you imagine San Antonio without the Missions? They have been here for decades, from the days of the Dodgers affiliation. Remember Tommy Lasorda coming to town, playing at St. Mary's, to now. There is a possibility the Missions could be moving. That's according to Bexar County Judge Peter Sakai.
Major League Baseball has the authority to move the San Antonio Missions. It is our understanding through the local ownership that without this letter, after August 1st, the San Antonio Missions could be subject to removal process by Major League Baseball.
Oh, say it ain't so. The letter you just heard Judge Sakai talking about is one of the steps he is taking to keep the Missions here in the Alamo City. Yesterday, county commissioners authorized the county judge to create a letter of intent to show Major League Baseball that the county is working with the Missions ownership group on a plan for a new stadium. So where would that stadium be located? The ownership group found an area along the San Pedro Creek near Fox Tech High School. The Missions currently play at Nelson Wolff Stadium.
Scoring from third is Watley, and Josh Young will drive in a run.
Oh, that's a good sign for the Rangers. Texas Rangers All-Star third baseman Josh Young started his rehab assignment Sunday at AAA Round Rock Express, and he went 2 for 3 with an RBI single in his rehab debut. Remember back in April, he suffered a fractured wrist following a hit by a pitch in the 4th inning of the season. He's been out since. Josh and the Express started a 6-game series at the Sacramento River Cats. And baseball great Willie Mays passed away yesterday at the age of 93. The Giants and Mays family jointly announced his death. They say the Say Hey Kid was one of the game's greatest and most beloved players. His over-the-shoulder catch right there of a long drive in the 1954 World Series. Baseball's most celebrated, watch it again, baseball's most celebrated defensive feat had been baseball's oldest living Hall of Famer. He was something to watch.
How wonderful to have had an amazing life that lasted that long.
And what's amazing is to see that video in black and white.
Yeah.
And that's how old it is. But for him to live this long, like you said, and then for that particular play to just go down in history as one of the greatest of all time. Back in 1954, that's awesome. Awesome stuff.
Ripe old age. Still ahead in our next half hour, a major relief for people living in 3 apartment complexes across the city who lost their water. But why was it shut off to begin with? We're going to take a look at the issues SAWS is citing after the break.
And of course, the weather, our main concern today. Justin Horn is going to join us here in a couple of minutes to give us an update on the tropical disturbance heading towards San Antonio. It's on the doorstep. He said knocking on the door, is that what he said?
But it's interesting. I think if I'm reading what Justin is saying correctly, this storm or tropical storm is going further south into Mexico, so we're not getting as much rain up here.
I think it's sucking a little some of the energy down further south a little bit more, and we've kind of shifted those higher rainfall totals further south. But here's the good news: we're still going to get rain here in San Antonio. It may not be as much as we once hoped, but it's still going to be a good soaking rain for much of the afternoon, and that's going to go a long way to helping us when it comes to the aquifer, our lawns, all sorts of stuff. So that's the positive side of things. You look at the radar. You can see that there's a large area of South Texas and Central Texas and East Texas getting rain out of this. Now, the heaviest of the rain is down there around Beeville, Mathis, Corpus Christi, where there are flash flood warnings in effect. But this stretches north, and we're starting to see some of those showers work their way into San Antonio. So let's zoom in a little bit closer here to the city, and you can see the showers have now passed over 1604 and are starting to work their way through the east side of San Antonio, and eventually we'll make it past 410 and then into downtown. This is all pretty light stuff to start, but it picks up a little bit as some of this more moderate rain will begin to work in, and that probably be another hour or so before that happens. But expect to start to see a few sprinkles here fairly soon, depending on where you live here in San Antonio. Grab the umbrella if you're going to be out the rest of the afternoon. You will want it. As this rain will, again, likely pick up some. This is also starting to move into Poteet, Pleasanton. You're starting to see the rain. Stockdale, Floresville, light rain for you. And then it gets heavier down towards Goliad and Kennedy. What I wanted to do very quickly is look at some of these rainfall rates, which we can do here with the 24-hour. Actually, let's look at the rain rates. And there it is. Just got to look for it. There we go. Where you see some of that green color, that's where we're going to see some of those good rainfall rates, maybe up to an inch per hour in some of these spots, which will add up pretty quickly depending on where you are. So we're going to continue to check in on this rain, and we'll continue to bring you updates with the radar coming up here in just a couple minutes, guys.
Thank you, Justin. Taking a look outside with TransGuide. You can see a few raindrops here. This is 281 at Encino Rio. As Justin was saying, further south, the rain is beginning to move in across 1604 and now has reached 281 at Encino. More of this to come.
We have some new developments in that case involving a 15-year-old that is accused of shooting and killing his mother. Her name has now been released. The medical examiner says 37-year-old Luz Aurora Gonzalez was found dead at her home on Delgado Street near Northwest 19th Street yesterday afternoon. Police say she was shot in the back of her head. Chief McManus says the teen was found at a home down the street and was arrested, but a reason to the shooting still unknown. Police had responded to previous calls at the home, but not recently.
No calls to the house within the last several weeks. Neither was for a domestic-related event, my understanding right now. Again, this is all preliminary.
At the time he was talking there, Chief McManus did not know if the teen had a prior criminal history, and so far no charges have been announced.
We do have an update to tell you about. Yesterday, our Katrina Weber told you about multiple apartment complexes that were going without water. Well, now water has been restored at all of them except for one. The Westwood Plaza Apartments, Rose Lawn Apartments, and Serenity Townhomes were waterless, and the tenants frustrated. They say they pay their rent, and it includes the water bill, yet they had no water. San Antonio Water System said those complexes were actually behind on their payments, each complex owing tens of thousands of dollars.
They are paying their rent. Their money is going towards the maintenance of the apartments, but the money is never reaching SAWS.
There is a fourth apartment, an unnamed complex located at West Magnolia Street near Midtown. That one is still without water.
Witnesses to a shooting and a confession is what the prosecution is leaning on to prove their case against a man accused of brutally murdering and burning the body of his ex-girlfriend, happening back in 2021. They say Andres Tarnava confessed that he killed Marisol Klingenhofer, all because he thought she had stolen ID cards from his late father. Multiple witnesses say they saw Tarnava shoot Klingenhofer multiple times and even described how Tarnava threatened to stay quiet.
He was scaring us not to say anything, and we stayed quiet, and it's a scary feeling, like you don't know what to do.
Klinghoffer's remains were later found burned in barrels on Tarnov's property. As for the defense, they have yet to do an opening statement. During cross-examination, they did try to discredit both witnesses. And KSAT will be back at the courthouse tomorrow, live streaming the trial. You can watch it all on our streaming platforms.
Today is Juneteenth, and there are a few events going on around today in San Antonio to celebrate. It started at 10 o'clock in the morning. It's going to go all the way to 8 p.m. and an all-day national celebration at the Second Baptist Church on East Commerce. There will be food, music, activities for kids, and a lot more.
And tonight, a True Vision Church on Ackerman Road. There's going to be a Juneteenth festival along with some fireworks. And that'll be from 7 till 9. There will be food trucks, live entertainment, capping the night off with a big fireworks display.
And how about a little wine and cheese to celebrate? That event is going on at the University of the Incarnate Word this evening. Professor Mario Marcel Salas, who is a civil rights leader, author, and politician from San Antonio, will be reviewing James M. Smallwood's book, Time of Hope, Time of Despair, Black Texans During Reconstruction, which is the period we're talking about that Juneteenth was created for. So you can join him for reading, wine and cheese, and discussion.
And finally, there's going to be a Juneteenth farmers market taking place at the Gardopia Gardens from 6 to 9. It's located on North New Braunfels Avenue near East Houston. There will be different activities, cultural performances, soulful music. If you'd like some more information about this event or any of the other ones that we've been talking about, just head over to KSAT.com.
Living in the United States all this time with fear and uncertainty. We can fix that.
President Biden's new executive actions are meant to keep at least some people from being deported.
This could affect about 500,000 people in the U.S. right now. Under the action, undocumented spouses of U.S. citizens are allowed to stay in the U.S. and work while applying for residency. They'll be protected from deportation. To qualify, the spouses have had to have lived in the U.S. for 10 years and pass a background check. A professor at St. Mary's University says the action is not necessarily an easy path to citizenship, though.
It's important to understand that this is not just some magic presidential declaration that suddenly converts a whole bunch of people into citizens. There's a whole process that is going to take years for people to go through in order to be vetted and have a determination made if they ultimately qualify under the laws that Congress passed.
Governor Greg Abbott does not like this executive action. In a statement, the governor says, in part, quote, President Biden's mass amnesty will be another magnet to attract migrants to flood across our border illegally. President Biden needs to stop rewriting immigration law and start enforcing it, end quote. Still ahead, what some people along the Texas coast did to prepare for rain from that tropical storm Alberto we've been talking about. It's hitting the area right now.
And record heat waves American cities are now seeing as it seems like each summer is getting a little hotter. That's coming up right after the break. As Justin Horn's been talking about for days now, we're expecting a rainy day here in San Antonio, but other states near the Canadian border are going to be reaching 100 degrees today.
And heat isn't the only concern as well. Wildfires continuing to burn out west, and they're forcing many people out of their homes. Hot and dry conditions fueling at least 19 wildfires. We're seeing the beach here, which is a good place maybe to go, but if your home's on fire, you're having to flee. And that's resulted in at least 500 buildings being damaged. As for the heat, the National Weather Service in Maine, where it's a nice cool temperature, they issued their first ever excessive heat warning. The heat index there expected to hit 105 degrees today. The average American city now experiencing twice as many heat waves as 40 years ago. Last year, we saw the most heat waves since 1936. And on the subject of Maine, I remember when I lived there, it was considered a heat wave, Justin, if it was, unbearably hot, 93 degrees for 3 days straight.
It's true.
That was a heat wave in Maine.
Hey, well, listen, when the heat index gets up to 105 here, we start to think about advisory. So obviously in Maine, for sure, that is a problem. Yeah, the way the pattern is set up, some really hot temperatures here along the East Coast, and we're kind of enjoying some cooler weather thanks to clouds and rain. 81 so far today. The average is 93. We're going to be below average today. The record is 105, set just last year. Radar starting to show some of those showers and downpours moving in. We'll have an update of the radar for you and talk about the forecast going into tomorrow coming up.
All right, we're going to take you out to Port Aransas right now. Port A, the Texas coast, getting hammered by this tropical disturbance. Actually, it's now a tropical storm, and it's got a name, Alberto. A lot of rain falling over there, and flooding is being reported. The amount of rain that has fallen can be extremely dangerous. Experts say anywhere from 0 to 10 feet above sea level is considered the danger zone. Flooding, a major concern for people who live in the area, and they're not taking any chances.
Some people went out fishing. A lot of the guides canceled their trips and stuff. And just, you know, people just getting their boats out of the water and stuff so they don't float away and stuff.
Not quite as bad, maybe.
We don't need anything floating away, that's for sure.
Yeah.
But we do need some, I don't know, I wouldn't mind seeing some water floating down the river. That would be nice to get the Guadalupe River some water.
Unfortunately, we need a lot of rain for that to happen. I think we'll see some of that, David. And just to add to what's going on there along the coast, I mean, this tropical storm is pretty far to the south in Mexico. That we are seeing some effects, some higher waves there in Port A, but I don't think we're going to see just a ton of, not any flooding from any sort of storm surge or anything like that. Maybe some freshwater flooding with some heavier rain down there, but I don't think it's going to be a big issue. And overall, this is just good rain. This is something we've needed for a long time. Light soaking rain that'll be moving through. Let's first start with a look outside. It's 81 degrees here in San Antonio, 80 in New Braunfels, 75 Boerne, 75 in Kerrville. And we've got some fairly gusty winds as we've been talking about. The winds will stay gusty throughout the afternoon out of the east and northeast as this rain starts to rotate in. I wanted to go over to TransGuide and look at some of those shots. Still, the rain has not started falling yet at 281 and Encino Rio. Other spots, we are seeing some raindrops on these TransGuide cameras. And this camera right here, what we're looking at, that rain will be there very, very soon. So let's switch over to radar. You can see where that rain is right on our doorstep, as we said, starting to move into the city of San Antonio. And then you've got a heavier pocket stretching from Schulenburg, in between Schulenburg and Eagle Lake, all the way down to Goliad and Beeville. And we can put this into motion for you and show you that it is rotating in our direction. So we can expect some of this light rain with some pockets of more moderate rain shifting through here for the next couple of hours. That light rain, by the way, now starting to cross over 410. So it's almost to downtown. In fact, we're starting to see some showers take shape here near downtown. So yes, it'll be a wet commute a little bit later today, or if you're planning on getting out, have the umbrella. It's probably going to stay generally pretty light as far as the rain is concerned, but where you see some of these yellow colors, that's where you could run into more moderate rain. And yes, this will last, I think, throughout the late afternoon and evening hours. Let's look at the futurecast. There is that area of rain moving through, shows some more potentially behind that, even going into say dinner time and the evening hours. It will probably take until tonight for this to really shift west towards Del Rio and Eagle Pass, places that will also get in on some good rain in places that desperately need it. So this is a good look for us as far as rain is concerned, and it's something we've been waiting on. Now, we talked about the rainfall totals perhaps not being as high as we'd hoped. I still think we could pick up 1 to 2 inches, mainly south of San Antonio, maybe up to an inch here in town. You'll find the bigger totals to the south, 3 to 4 inches, and already flash flood warnings, as we said, being posted for Corpus Christi, where they are going to get a ton of rain and already have. There's the spin. This is Tropical Storm Alberto. Finally starting to take on some organization here. But the problem with that is it is drawing some of that energy away from us. And as it moves inland, it will bring heavy rain to parts of Mexico, Tampico, around, say, tomorrow morning. That's when a lot of the heavy rain will be there in Mexico. And what we're seeing up here is just kind of some moisture rotating, a little disturbance rotating around the top of that system. So know that we'll still get some scattered activity tomorrow, 87, 91 Friday with a 20% chance of rain. And then we'll still have some small chances Sunday and early next week. So the prospects are still there and still good for some rainfall. And in fact, the Hurricane Center is watching another little area in the Gulf of Mexico that could flare up and take a very similar path to Alberto and maybe throw some more moisture in our direction by early next week. So this is good. It's definitely a change from last year. Knock on wood.
Keep them coming.
Yep.
I like it. Thank you. Coming up, a major move involving cell phones, kids, and their classrooms. Why one of the largest school districts in the country is pushing a ban on phones during learning time.
Students in the Los Angeles Unified School District have had to revert to passing handwritten notes in class. Imagine that. Yesterday, board members there voted in favor of banning cell phones while school is in session.
That ban scheduled to start in January. It's going to affect more than 500,000 students from kindergarten all the way through 12th grade. Those in support of the move say cell phones can negatively impact in-person communication, creative thinking, as well as kids' mental health. Critics of the ban say students should have access to their phones, especially in the case of an emergency.
Okay, what did we do when there was an emergency?
And you know, that was my thinking as a parent when cell phones were in everybody's hands. If my child needed to get in touch with me, my cell phone was going to save them.
Okay.
Now I look back on it and I say, why did I ever do that?
How many of those kids use their cell phones in emergency, and how many of those kids are just on their cell phone during school? Maybe that's why some of the grades across the country have dropped. Maybe that's why we're not good in math and good in science. I mean, I'm not saying we're not. I'm just saying some of the grades have dropped, and maybe it's because we're spending a little too much time on social media.
Well, I also think it has affected their interpersonal social growth in a way that nobody really figured. When you handed that kid that phone, you thought it was going to, you know, new worlds were going to open up to them, and actually it kind of shut things down.
Interesting that they come up with this rule in Los Angeles, right? At the same time, the Surgeon General says there needs to be warning labels on apps, especially the apps that kids are getting on. So
and I can tell you from firsthand experience, cell phones and social media apps do bring down people's self-esteem.
Yep.
It's tough.
So is this something that San Antonio should at least look into, if not do?
And I think a lot of companies are doing something similar. I know, like, my daughter works at a coffee chain. They do not allow cell phones in your pocket while you're working.
No, because people, I mean, you can be standing at the counter waiting for somebody to hand you your cash back, or they're on the phone.
Exactly.
So, and I think that
I think it's a good thing.
I think it is a good thing. I think you ought to take them away. You can put them in a secure place in the school. Figure that out. That's not hard to do. Secure your phone. You can get, if there's an emergency, you can get to your phone.
Do we sound like grumpy old people?
I think we sound like people who have watched.
Justin's nodding his head.
Yeah, well,
all right.
We are. But they've watched a generation that has changed, not necessarily for 100% of the better with this social media thing.
Face-to-face is better. An SA Live just minutes away at Market Square. And they are going to be sharing some Juneteenth events and big savings. Hey, Mike and Fiona.
Well, happy Juneteenth. If you're looking to celebrate today, there are some fun events around town,
including a culinary event, plus a new children's book about Juneteenth. And I chat with the author, illustrator, and artist behind the picture book about this story set in Texas and what kids can learn from it.
And it's a local business with tons of summer fun, and they have a great deal for you, too. I try the leap of faith at Urban Air Park North. Let me tell you. What could possibly go wrong? Plus, insider deals with big savings on summer must-haves. You can't miss that.
Oh, the prices are absolutely amazing. That and a whole lot more coming up on SA Live. Stick around.